I'm a little rusty, but let's do this. Hi, my name is Marie. I love to read, research, and delve into scientific topics and then present them to you here on YouTube. Up on today's docket is the menstrual cup. What is a menstrual cup? It's a cup made of various materials that you insert into the vagina to catch your monthly flow. Now, I am an RN. I got a continuing education course email about is the menstrual cup safe? I did a little poll on Instagram. Hey, is anybody interested in what I find out? Turns out a lot of you are. So today's video is going to be a presentation and summary of this article. What is this article? Well, it's a summary of 43 studies, 3,300 participants, spanning multiple countries, spanning 50 years, spanning socioeconomic status. So what the authors did were they went through all types of scientific sites like PubMed, Google Scholar, Science.gov, and they located every research study they could about menstrual cups, and they compiled it into one article and tried to make sense of all the data. So what I'm going to address in this video are some of the safety concerns that they outlined. I'm not going to talk about anything else about the menstrual cup because these videos are fast. That's what's fun about them. I'm going to highly encourage you to check out the article for yourself if you're truly concerned about this. And it's an easy read. It's free to download the entire PDF. And yeah, let's jump in. If you are interested in a menstrual cup, people's personal experience, how to insert it, what's it good for, is it right for you, what happens if it gets stuck, what's the best one, just type it into YouTube and you will have thousands of videos right a click away. All right, before we jump in, we have to address that the authors themselves say that there is a little bit of flaws to the some of the research studies simply because they are based on people's self-reports. Sometimes the medical records were not available for review about some of these side effects that people were talking about. There's a lot of other factors that go into the vaginal area, and so there's that. Okay, take everything with a grain of salt. The other thing is that they are talking about in the study both the cervical cup that sits higher in the vagina and the vaginal cup that sits against the vagina walls. Let's really quickly review the anatomy of the women parts. All right, now let's jump into the safety concerns. First up, vaginal abrasion. People did report abrasions to the interior of the vaginal walls. Not a lot though. Number 2, allergy to the cup material. Now, the cups can be made of silicone and other materials. I say other materials because you're really not going to want to look for anything other than one that's made of medical grade silicone. Now, one woman had a silicone allergy so bad that she had to have surgery to reconstruct the vagina. They did note that that's extremely rare to have that type of silicone allergy, but if you're going to use a menstrual cup, definitely know what it's made of and whether or not you have an allergy. Number 3, unable to remove it. Now, like I said, there's thousands upon thousands of videos about menstrual cups on YouTube. It sounds like from using them that most people at some point in their use find it difficult to get it out. One woman described using a menstrual cup as fisting yourself every month. So what we know about the female anatomy is that even though it may get stuck and hard to reach, it's not going to exit the vagina. Number 4, pain. Well, you're taking something that's a little bit stiff, shoving it into an area that it's not really supposed to be, and we all have different anatomy down there. So people did experience pain inserting it, wearing it, removing it, and that was a major factor for people continuing use. Number 5, infection. Now, the vagina and the anus sit very close to each other. And what you may not know is that we all have quite a few different types of bacteria coexisting in that area. So when you're constantly moving things in and out and around down there, there is a possibility that you're going to move bacteria around. So when they were looking through this study, they were looking for staph, Enterococcus, E. coli, all things that kind of live down there and can overgrow. However, from what I read through, there wasn't high enough incidences of infections or bacterial growth to keep you from using it. It's just a reminder that if you are going to use a menstrual cup, your number one priority should be keeping it clean. And there's quite a few cleansers on the market. There's ways to boil it. There's a lot of instruction about keeping that menstrual cup clean with the use and then also storing. Number 6, yeast infections. Now, like I said, we have a delicate balance of flora down in that area. And so when the pH in your vagina changes, you can develop yeast overgrowth. What was interesting to me is that women that used a menstrual cup actually had a decrease in acidity in the vagina, and therefore a decrease in the microbes that caused yeast overgrowth in the vagina. So that's actually something really positive. Number 7, toxic shock syndrome. Now, if you've ever used a tampon, you've heard about this before. There was incidences of people having toxic shock syndrome. It was very low, I think in the single digits, and it made the denominator much, much smaller than tampon users. Number 8, IUD displacement. This occurred with people using a cervical cup, not a vaginal cup. So just FYI, if you use an IUD, you may want to rethink your choices. Number 9, anatomy changes due to the displacement or incorrect insertion. Now, this was actually something that occurred in several instances. The vaginal cup was placed wrong in the vagina, and it actually impacted the surrounding structures, the ureters that led to the bladder and kidney, and people actually had to go in, and this was verified by CT, and have them removed. All right, this was a very quick summary of some of the safety issues that they mentioned. Like I said though, all of the safety concerns that they mentioned were very low, much lower than tampon use, much lower than, or if not equal to, pad use. So it sounds like from the author's summary that they find that the menstrual cup is actually a very safe option for women to use. Okay, let me know, have you tried it? Any horror stories? Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye.